Hey, notice anything different? Yes, I had to borrow a whole computer and a webcam because my notebook is fucked and I need this stuff for the online test, which is on Friday. And also I should be studying right now, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. But recently I had an idea for a video that I don't really want to postpone too much because I'm in the mood for it and I'm quite excited about it, and really after doing this there won't be anything more that I will have left to do in order to procrastinate. So I thought I would do it right now, because anyway I will be eating lunch in an hour and then it's study time, baby. Generative syntax is coming. I had to do it for a whole week straight, and then my computer broke and now I have it again, and I was studying without it and now I'm studying with it, and I still have to revise and review all of the stuff that I've written down. But now let's go on to the video, and the video is about me trying to be eco-friendly, trying to be low waste, trying to basically feel good about myself in matters of ecology and the planet Earth. Before I start, I just want to ask you not to be dicks, because really this video is here for you to inspire those of you that are interested in this topic, and some of these things are maybe unknown to you and you can discover something new. And also I don't really speak about it that often. I know that I probably complain about groceries being packed in too much plastic, and you hear me speak about this, but I don't just come and brag about not using shampoo anymore. So those are some personal things that I don't do to evangelize you, that I do in order not to feel guilty. But this is a place where you can click on a video that you're interested in, and if you're not interested you don't click on it. But if you open this just in order to mock me, shut the fuck up, because I'm not pushing anything down anyone's throat. And if you hold on and if you listen for the rest of the video, you'll see that I'm not perfect, I'm not zero waste, and I'm not going to go into extremes with this, because some of the things, everybody has something that they just don't want to do, that are just beyond the limit. And certainly I don't think that I can recycle everything, and this is not about that. It's just, yeah, YouTube is full of those videos, but here's my version of it. So here's my version of it, and you'll see that it's okay not to be perfect in this. There are zero waste YouTubers who are really, they are goals, but even they should see that it's not realistic for most people. Yeah, so let's go with this and start about myself and what I'm trying to do about the planet Earth. And what I try to do for the planet is that I am trying to have a pretty low consumption of some of the things that aren't so eco-friendly. And I'll have to speak about minimalism a little bit. I know that's not necessarily the same topic as being low waste, but it's something that also is very important for me, and not just because of the money. You see, another thing is, you don't have to get inspired by me and do everything as I said just because it's for the planet, but the benefits of some of those things are also that it's cheaper in many cases it's cheaper, in other cases it's more expensive. It depends on your priorities basically. But minimalism is cool because not only you spend less and you don't have that much clutter around you, but also you don't support the industry. Especially the textile industry is not very cool with our planet. And I don't even want to have that many clothes, so if I don't want to buy them, then I also don't support the brands. And if I do want something, I thrift it because, you know, the industry. And there might be something political about capitalism and about the workers' exploitation and all of that, but it's also eco reasons, and it's also just not wanting to have that much stuff and also not wanting to spend my money that way. But as I say, we're not perfect, so there are people who just want to have a big closet, and some of them maybe don't want to thrift everything. So I recommend you try thrifting as often as possible. It is cool, and there are many beautiful things in secondhand stores. So don't be afraid of it. You don't have to go 100%, but this video basically is here just to give some little inspiration, just a little nudge to not move anyone anywhere, but just to put an idea in your heads basically, and then you have to work with it your own way. And some people may, I don't know, well, that's your business, not mine. My business right now is to make this video, eat my lunch, and finally go study, but I really do want to make the video. So not buying many things is good for that. With electronics it's a bit more difficult, and you can certainly find people more qualified to explain all of this than myself. Because, I don't know, I've been using the same phone for almost 5 years now, and I don't really see how it's still working, because it was the cheapest one and it's not very good, and at the same time it is one of those touch display shitty phones that should be dead right now, but for some reason it's still working. I don't see how, but yeah, I'm going to speak about my consumption of plastic, and that's really something problematic in this world, but there are so many things that you can do differently. So I'm going to show you my new toothbrush, and it's actually cool that in these countries where we can already focus on science that is above the science that destroys the ecosystem, we can actually work out things that help preserve it. So we have access to more eco-friendly materials, and it's a big trend, and it might be annoying to somebody, but it's quite cool. And I bought this for, I don't know other currencies, but it was 100 crowns. It's not the cheapest, but some high-end toothbrushes made of plastic that are recommended by dentists if you want the healthiest teeth are even more expensive, and I just know that I didn't have to buy a plastic one, and I'm just one person in a sea of millions, but still, I don't really think that I am that powerful with my one toothbrush, but I just don't really want to feel guilty. This is about myself, and I'm doing this because I stand by my priorities and my beliefs and my creed. So that's why I'm doing all of this, and it's not really something I'm doing also. It's something that I'm not doing. I'm not supporting that stuff, I'm supporting other stuff. So I'm not that active either, you know, I'm not trying to pull anyone on my side. I'm just I'm just filming a video right now, but that's practically all I do. Yeah, I do sign some petitions, but that's not really, that's something everyone does these days, I think. So this is how you can lower your plastic consumption, at least by a tiny step, and still brushing my teeth with this is almost the same. And also toothpaste comes in plastic packaging, so I have tried to make my own and it actually works. You know, there are certain substances that you can use for anything almost. You can clean many kinds of mess with soda, with lemon juice, and with vinegar. And you can actually brush your teeth with soda too. So what I do is I make my own toothpaste, and actually I've recently run out, so I'm going to try to make my own right now, and I don't think that it shows well on the camera. But this is some clay, and I don't think it is in anyone's recipe. That was my own idea, and I hope that it won't make me sick eventually, but yeah, don't try this at home. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. It's my own creative idea. I don't even think it's cool, but the main ingredient is soda, so I'll just put a bit of soda in it, and also there's alpa. You know that in my country, at least we know it, it's some sort of massage alcohol with herbs, and it's not really for drinking. There are some idiots who maybe drink it, although I think it's just an urban joke. Yeah, but I put some drops of it in it too, so there's a little bit of that, and there's soda, and there's a bit of clay, and then I just stir it all up. And people usually also put some essential oils in their homemade toothpaste. Mother has some, but I'm not going to go there. Sometimes I put some lavender oil, because they say it's good for the teeth. I don't know. As long as they are cleaned twice every day, that's probably all that I do for my teeth. Yeah, here's another thing that I will never be perfect at, because sometimes I do use a bit of dental floss, and there are zero wasters who actually don't use plastic dental floss, but they have some special dental floss which is, I don't know if it's biodegradable or if it's compostable, but the point is that some of them don't even throw the used piece away, and they just wash it and use it repeatedly. And that, for example, is something that I could never do, because to me it's just so icky that I'm sorry, I could never. And I think that many people could also never, so that's just dental floss is probably something that I won't entirely. See, now adding some coconut oil, and that's all there is in my toothpaste, and I've been using it for 2 months, and it's perfectly fine to brush my teeth with. It doesn't make a foam, but that's something you'll quickly get used to, and with the few drops of alcohol it also tastes quite fresh, like a toothpaste. It does taste of alcohol, but it's not that bad, you know. It's a bit salty because of the soda, and it's not bad, and it does clean your teeth. I think they're quite white, actually. Some people don't even use toothpaste because they rely on the mechanical brushing of the teeth, that it just brushes all of the mess away, and then they just flush it all away with water. But that's not something I could do, so I am going to use my own paste, but it's okay. And well, you know, my mother is quite sensitive to a lot of stuff, so we don't really even go to a normal drugstore, and she uses eco soap and toothpaste and washing agents, cleaning agents, all of that from eco brands, and those things are also not perfumized, and there is nothing that could actually irritate her skin, so that's also good. So that's what I've been growing up on for almost 15 years, when her body decided to protest. So we're not using normal stuff, but that's actually good because it's also eco-friendly, and that's quite good. But I just wanted to also reduce the plastic that it comes in, so I'm making my own toothpaste, and sometimes I borrow hers, don't tell her, but most of the time I just use this, and so that's quite powerful for this, so it's okay. Hope I'm not confusing the people who only say soda when referring to non-alcoholic beverages, but it is soda, okay? Everyone calls it soda. If you call your cola soda, it's your problem, not mine. By the way, something in my throat, sorry. And I'm drinking coffee. Finally got some new coffee, which is actually quality coffee, good coffee. And really, you can actually make your own shampoo, so that's something I also do. And not only because of the plastic, but another benefit is that it's much healthier for your scalp. And shit, sorry. And I care more about the environment than actually myself, which is maybe a little bit masochistic, but I do love myself. I do want to be healthy. And for the last year or so, I was experiencing something very, very uncomfortable on my head, because I do know that you should not wash your hair too often, but my problem was that not only it got itchy after a few days when it was oily, but it also was itchy right after I washed it, and it was itchy all the time, and I had so much dandruff, and I had to scratch my head all the time, and it was so gross. And that was not actually the reason. I just thought, well, okay. That was not actually the reason. The reason really was the reduction of plastic, but I've noticed that since I gave up shampoo, that also rapidly changed, and my scalp's not itchy anymore. Yeah, so yeah, it's also more friendly to your skin and to the environment when you don't buy shampoo that's sold in plastic bottles. You can also buy shampoo that's like in a hard bar, which looks like a soap, and then there is no package, so that's fine, but I'm already used to what I do, and what I do is simply that I pour some rye flour in a bowl and put water in it, and with that flour goo I wash my hair. I part my hair in several places, and then I apply the flour goo to the spots, and I massage my scalp and I wash it out, and I swear it rids me of all of the oil that is there excessively that's making my hair gross. And when it's dry, it's washed and it's clean, and it looks just like you washed it with a shampoo, except if there's silicone in your shampoo, then your hair is a bit smoother and it glides along and all of that, and I don't even want that stuff because it's unnatural, and there are people who have had problems with that and with conditioners because it makes your hair feel good, but then you sort of need it because the whole surface of the hair is artificially modified, so fuck that. But there are no poo people that use vinegar, and I didn't even dare try it. I know they say that if you wash it out then it doesn't smell anymore, but to me it didn't feel like a good idea, so I tried the flour. Because I have also some problems with my digestive system. Don't worry, there won't be TMI, but basically I've been eating wheat-free but not gluten-free for several few days, and I realized that maybe it is still problematic and that I would have to give up gluten totally, and my mother doesn't eat it anyway, so we had some leftover rye flour, so I started using it, and I don't know, a kilo of rye flour will cost you, you know what it'll cost you. I don't even know your currency and how it translates to the Czech crowns, but you know, it's much cheaper than real shampoo, and it does work. Why do I keep saying shampoo? Yeah. And if you have a female body, then you know another thing that you can do for the environment, and that is, you know, the pads and the tampons that you throw away, they don't disappear. You can't recycle them because they're full of your blood and they're gross. And what do you do with them? They will stay somewhere for years and years and years and years on end. But what can you do? You can get a menstrual cup. If you're okay with sticking things up there, the cup is perfect. It's a material that should not be bad for you, and it doesn't even cause the toxic shock syndrome as tampons do. There may be some cases, but I read that it's very rare, even with tampons, but with the cup it's even rarer. You buy one cup and it lasts you for years, maybe the rest of your life. So you pay more in the beginning, but then you don't have to pay anymore. You're not throwing away any gross bloody stuff that will make the planet dirty. You can use it repeatedly, and all you have to do to keep it clean is to put it in water and boil it for 10 minutes before you use it. You just wash it, put it back in, wash it, put it back in. It's in the end it's so much eco-friendlier and cheaper, so I do recommend that. Yeah. And another thing is also if you shave, then those plastic disposable things also aren't a good idea, just because, you know, you can maybe remove the part with the blades and throw it in the bin because it's full of your hair, and then the rest of it may go in the plastic bin and you can recycle it, but still you are buying it, so you are supporting the industry that uses plastic. So what I did is that I went looking for a safety razor, and if you live in Europe you probably have DM in your country, and there they have this. It's made of metal. All that you have to do is change the razor blades. They come in a package where there's a little bit of plastic, but it's still way better than disposable ones. And I don't really know what to do with the used blades that are already dull, but they're made of metal, so they're still more okay with the environment, I guess. They're just pure metal. Here's another thing that I'm not perfect at, and that will probably take me a long time to be good at because I'm lazy. And that's that I don't recycle metal, because we simply don't have any recycle containers in our village for metal. And I noticed that 2 municipalities away there's a village where they do have it, so I might probably collect all of the cans and all of the metal things that I could recycle, and I might sometimes go there and throw it in the containers, because that's a big thing. If you don't have a recycle container for it, you probably get lazy and throw it in the trash, because what do you do with it, right? But yeah, I could do that, because you can recycle everything almost. I mean, from materials, if they're pure, you can quite recycle them, you know. So it's easier than with plastic, you know, because when you recycle plastic, you do have to, because it would be really shitty not to recycle your plastic. But when you do, some of it is lost during the process, so it's much purer not to even buy it. Yeah, and you know what I said about going gluten-free? Well, another problem is that all of the gluten-free pastries and bread and all of the baked goods come in plastic packaging, and that's quite shitty, and I don't really know what to do with that. So that's probably something that I'll never get rid of, and I'm trying not to feel a whole lot of guilt and ruin my diet because of that, because I am sure that I inherited this condition from my mother, who had to go totally 100% gluten-free a long time ago, and I'm sure that there's something like that. Maybe it's not just the gluten that's making my guts go crazy, but it might be it, and I'm feeling better now that I'm doing it, and it comes in a lot of plastic, but there's something that's something I maybe I even can't do anything about, so I'm trying to reduce, trying. No. And another thing is that now that there's the coronavirus pandemic, you have to be careful when you're buying groceries. So for the last 3 months, we've been taking new clean plastic bags in the stores for vegetables and fruits, and yet, like, we might recycle them. The problem is that we even took them, and it was because we wanted to be a bit more sanitary, and people are throwing away their face masks outside on the ground. That's really gross, and yeah, I know that hygiene has to come first, but even now we still, if we want to take 6 tomatoes, we grab a bag for it. So I should probably remember to take my own bags, and probably make some cotton ones, because I have a lot of scraps from my old clothing, so I might sanitize that and do something with that, because I like DIYing, and I think that will save us a whole lot of eco guilt, that's what's going on. And the problem is not that we have it, the problem is that most people don't have it, and some people can't, but you can't really do everything, but you have to try to focus on it, because even if you decide that you don't want to go at least a bit low waste, and that you really are more comfortable with buying a lot of new clothes and buying a lot of new stuff, at least do it because it's your own decision, and that you really know that you have decided this way, and it's much better and much justifiable than being too lazy and too comfort seeking, that you don't even try to think about it, and that you don't even try to do a tiny bit of research that certainly wouldn't hurt you. So I think that's what I'll leave you with, because I really have to go study.